She cheated, left our family to become a porn star. Now she wants to be my mom again. Posting here because my therapist said it would be nice to get it off my chest. To give some context, my 27M dad, 67M, used to travel a lot to work and stay weeks away, so he and my mother, 52F, had an agreement where they had an open marriage. Don't know the details, but she was the only one that slept with other people. This happened to most of my childhood, as I can remember her leaving at night to go to clubs and parties, sometimes taking days to come back and neglecting me and my brother. I learned how to get groceries and cook when I was 8 so me and my brother would not starve. When I was around 13, my parents started fighting since apparently she had broken the deal in some way. My dad found out about the neglect, and she started going into the adult industry. They separated, and for years I had no contact with my mother. I sent her texts and emails, some that even popped up as she had seen it, but she never replied, so one day I just gave up trying to contact her. I managed to stay in contact with some people from her side of the family, but a lot of them began hating us, saying that we were too harsh on her, that we never supported her, that she did well leaving us, and gradually I also cut contact with them as well. She started working in the adult industry and got pretty famous in my country, got a lot of money, and I stopped using any NSFW websites as she was on the top pages of all of them. I gladly suffered zero to no bullying in high school because of it, as there were no ways of connecting her to me, and most of my friends that knew my mother didn't know it was her. She had dyed her hair, done a few surgeries and stuff. Well, I moved on with my life, joined the army, and I'm pretty well now. However, a year ago, out of nowhere she found me on social media and began to message me, asking how I was, commenting on how much I had grown up and trying to do some small talk. I just replied with one word and even stopped replying once my nerve got the best of me. Apparently, she has retired, and after feeling an overwhelming remorse throughout her entire life decided to contact us again. My brother was also careful but essentially accepted her back. He was always close to her. My father is cordial with her, but only that. She has also asked her entire part of the family for help, as I began being bombarded with messages and calls, from both those that criticized and supported me and my dad. I made it clear that I do not want anything with her, but they just keep on it, saying that she is remorseful, that she did a mistake but wants to make it right, that she has come back for us. More recently she somehow found out where I live, and I've been receiving random gifts at my doorstep with messages that were clearly hers. Things like a basket of chocolate that I liked when I was little, expensive clothes, she got my size wrong on all of them, flowers when my cat passed away, and even a very expensive hiking kit. I messaged her a few times to say that I don't want any of that, but she just pretends she doesn't know what I'm talking about, or just says she thought of me at that moment. I made it clear time and time again that I don't want anything to do with her, but she still persists, saying that she can be my mom again now and stuff like that. I don't know what else to say, so advice is more than welcome. Commenter 1. You are under no obligation to allow her back into your life. Block her again, and her family, and dump all of the gifts she gives you. Stop entertaining her attention. If she still will not stop, I'd honestly recommend going the legal route. Get a cease and desist letter sent out to her and her family, and if that doesn't stop it, go to the police to get her harassment on file, so it'll be easier to file a police report/restraining order in the future. I have donated or sent back all of the gifts already. Unfortunately, cease and desist letters are not a thing in my country, but I'm really thinking about filing a police report for harassment. I just don't know if they will accept, since she never did it personally. Commenter 2. It sounds like she's regretting what she's done and wants it back the way it was. But you shouldn't let this happen. Will just happen over and over again. She has indeed voiced that she regrets what she has done, and I don't think it would happen again, but she should know things would not get back the way it was, and honestly, if she thought it would, she is even crazier because things were really bad before. Update 1, 11 days later. First, I would like to thank everyone that commented, giving me some comfort, advice, or letting me unwind on their DMs. You all helped me a lot. I'm still trying to answer all of the comments and messages, but with work and family craziness reaching new heights, that might take some time, but know that your words are very appreciated, and I thank you all from the bottom of my heart. Well, to start the update, I decided to have the moral high ground and take a more polite approach. I know many of you wanted me to just send her to hell on a message or letter, but I thought this way would disarm much of her comebacks and maybe even make some of her family members shut up. I called her and asked her to meet me in a small cafe. No way I was meeting her in private. She got there and it looked like she had won the lottery. She had a smile from ear to ear and was almost jumping up and down, but her smile did fade when she saw my face. She sat down and tried to do some small talk, but I cut her off and began to rain on her parade. With all of the calm and patience I could gather, I told her that no matter what she does or says, there would be no way for her to be my mom again. I started to explain that she was a complete stranger to me now, that I still had resentments, reminded her that I tried many times to stay in contact with her but she refused, and even stated that I'm no longer a child, I'm almost 30 so I kind of don't need a mom anymore. Had to hold myself not to say something like a few years too late, huh? I didn't even finish speaking when she burst into tears and began rambling about how sorry she was, that she was sorry for not seeing me grow up, sorry for ignoring me, that she would do anything for a second chance. She even told me that if her old work bothers me she could have it all taken down and pay for therapy if I wanted. Apparently she didn't know I'm in therapy ever since I was a teenager. I politely refused, and since the conversation wasn't likely to progress I just left after asking her once more to not contact me again. A couple of hours later I was in the shower when my phone began exploding with calls and messages. She apparently once again told her family, and once again they were cursing or trying to convince me. That showed me that some of the more radical comments on my last post were somewhat right, and I decided to follow some of their advice. I swapped my phone number, also got a much better phone plan, cleaned my social media of any family members from her side, and told my lawyer to go forward with the restraining order. Thanks to the last post I had it ready to go. Thanks again everyone. She received the order a couple of days ago and immediately broke it by driving straight to my house to scream why I was doing that. I didn't come out and call the cops. Thankfully they saw the restraining order and took her to the station for questioning. I was afraid they would ignore it or something, but I'm glad I was wrong. I'm now stuck here, not sure if what I did was 100% right, but at least I'm having some semblance of peace these last few days. She's still trying to send gifts, but I'm going legal on that too. I'm honestly not sure if there will be any more updates after this, but if it happens I'll post on my profile due to these subreddit rules. But once again, thanks everyone. Update 2, 3 weeks later. So my mother is now legally fighting me on the restraining order. I didn't even know that was a thing. And I'm trying to get more restraining orders for the more crazy members of her family. My lawyer told me to be cautious because if I request 20+ orders for all of her family I too look like a madman and it will all be denied. She hasn't broken the restraining order again after the last time, but the gifts continue to come and even intensified, so I'm just donating all of them. Although my childhood was pretty bad, I can say that the amount of chocolate she sent me is making a lot of kids really happy now. And I too say it again, I'm not revealing her name. Go find porn elsewhere and stop messaging me. It's not even for her sake but because I don't want to get doxxed. Anyone that sends any message like that will be blocked. To end this, I don't know if I too post any more updates or how long they will be, but if something happens I too definitely tell you guys. Update 3.5 years later. Hey there folks, yeah it has been a few years, life has been a complete roller coaster, but with some people still sending DMs I figure I should at least try to make some updates. Now bear in mind it has been years so my memory might be spotty and all over the place. I will try my best to make it chronological but it might turn into a mess. Right where I left off, well my mom had been pushy to the limit, but at least with the restraining order she was keeping away. There were some incidents like when she showed up at my dad's house during a family dinner only for my dad's new girlfriend at the time, now wife, to open the door. She also showed up at my job asking for me, Army, and one of my friends who was on guard duty scared her off with a shotgun. I love those guys and they are pretty much the only thing I miss about the Army. Well, life was not going that well, kept being passed for promotions. My requests for officer school were always denied, and to top it all off my girlfriend at the time cheated and dumped me, so yeah, not nice. Years went by and when I finally thought I would get an upstart in my promotion I got dismissed by the Army along with a lot of other folks. Suddenly with no job I had to go back to living with my dad for some time while I tried to figure out what to do with my life. The restraining order against my mom also expired, so she came back with renewed vigor, which did not help the situation at all. There's a lot more, so I should tackle it some other time. For now, have a nice weekend folks.